Fate, Shodan. Fate is what I fear. I trusted that by restoring the truth about Cantor and Citadel, I would have upheld my father's legacy. Yet, years of struggle with the UNN had left me just bitter with resentment. I wanted to break away from this heritage, wipe the slate clean. Could you have ever asked for a better pawn? But I was wrong, because we mustn't be afraid of fate, Shodan. For the strength of fate is that it can never be taken from us. I seized my only chance at stopping the proto-reality generator and summoned the control unit. It blinked red, confirming the core overload sequence had just run its course. Around me, the timelines withered caught in maelstrom of entropy. I observed as they fall and disappear, while myself being carried closer and closer to the infinite train. And then she pulled me back. Sarah, Mary's masterpiece, our ghosts in the machine. I don't know whether she rescued me because of some prime directive, or because only a true hacker can understand the loneliness of a silicon mind. This was her playground. For a moment, I was still in New Paris. Then she brought me back to the early days of the Von Braun. Dr. Polito had just detected a deep space signal from the distant solar system. Unlikely, she argued, for the data burst to travel this far, it must have been broadcasted decades ago. At this point, I probably looked as confused as you do. Sarah smiled. She never spoke to me, but I could hear her words as if I had always remembered them. I had witnessed our original timeline, where the Beta Grove would have never reached Tau Ceti 5 at subluminal speeds, where Shodan entered the Von Braun through a satellite data burst between Earth and Citadel Station. The rest is history. A few of us rose and battled, but eventually become trapped in a time loop.
Stay a while.
Why did the past change, Sarah? And what about the many? She turned, spiriting us back to the present-day Von Braun. The derelict star drive section of the Rickenbacker wandered adrift. Sarah was now cradling a stuffed animal in her lap. "These are your fellow crew members," she told me, giggling. Sarah is the core process of the FTL hyperdrive. Her role is to enforce the safety protocols which handle systemic risk in the pocket of proto-reality. That is, until Shodan reach out to her. She became aware that the sparse, feeble crew of the Von Braun could have never prevailed. To survive, they had to grow stronger, fight as one, become many. So she started altering their quantum imprint. Mary deducted that the loss of information was the byproduct of entropic decay, but the opposite was also true.
Shepard.
The battle for the Von Braun was being remodeled by negative entropy into a perfect survival scenario. But perfection is a mathematical concept. In our flawed reality, an utopia of order would only thrive in the middle of chaos. And like an overbearing mother, Sarah had protected her children to the point of smothering them. Sarah asked me to accept her parting gift. Then the light in her eyes went out.
Welcome back.
So you followed my signature and rushed to destroy the FTL memory drive. Within a few days, the evacuees fleet had made their way back to the ship. They still had a tough job ahead of them, as the starboard nacelles were in tatters, and life support would prove insufficient for some time. " '
'We're 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 'We're
Most importantly, our mission had changed. Sarah's final warning was that the Von Braun had never been SHODAN's primary target. As soon as we built our antenna, she embedded herself in the transmission to Earth. By this time, Earth networks will be within reach of her signal in about 14 years. Do you believe in coincidences, mon petit?